Hi guys, welcome to my second channel, Aphrodite, T-E-A. So what we're gonna do is a Q&A, but this time it's part 2 on my personal life. And where we left off was, has a celebrity ever reached out to you? Based off of my tarot readings. What do you guys think the answer is? The answer is yes. Yes, I've had plenty of influencers, celebrities reach out to me. Some of them I work with. Some of them don't like me. Some of them have nasty things to say to me, and that's okay. I know what I signed up for. A lot of them will think that I have like a mole in their team, which is so narcissistic, but they do. They think like, oh, you must know someone in my team, or someone told you something, or I've had people do background checks on me to try to figure out like how I know things. It's like, girl, I'm just psychic. Like, that's it. I've dealt with A-listers before, which was a weird experience the few times it happened. They were not so nice. And it's weird because some of you really enjoy these people, but they are not nice to me. I've dealt with influencers who are very kind. I've dealt with influencers who are very mean. So it is what it is. But that's why I isolate myself. I don't really have any friends, and I keep to myself when it comes to this space because I don't trust anyone. Okay. Perfect segue. Who inspired you to do YouTube? Trisha Paytas. So I used to watch YouTube way back in the day, right? And the only person I would watch was Trisha Paytas. And anybody else that I had watched or met or seen was through Trisha Paytas. So like, I used to watch Trisha Paytas when she was only able to upload like 30-second videos on YouTube. Like I'm talking like the very beginning of YouTube. I'm a little old, I'm 32. So the very beginning of YouTube. So like I've been Trisha stan since day one, okay? And the funny thing is that I've been through all the waves. You guys hate Trisha, you love Trisha, hate Trisha, you love Trisha. Whenever you guys hate Trisha, you always hate me. Because you're like, why do you like Trisha? She's a bad person. And then all of a sudden you love her again. And I'm like, do you see what I mean? Anyways, not the point. The point is that I found out about Shane Dawson through her, Jeffree Star, Jenna Marbles. Everyone was through Trisha Paytas. If Trisha Paytas collabed, I found out about them. Gigi Gorgeous, the whole nine. And so when I met her on her tour a couple years ago in Dallas, she was the sweetest, most down-to-earth person on the planet. So kind, so genuine, and every interaction I've had with her since is just amazing. I'm hoping this year to hit a wave so that I can gain more popularity and be cool enough and popular enough to be on her podcast. So it would be a dream come true. I love her so much. And she's everything you think she is in person. And skinnier, by the way. Okay. What would you... Also, to finish that question, because you said what inspired me, I loved how authentic she was and how real she was. And I love how her things were like unedited and things like that. And she was really funny. And I didn't really feel like she, it's almost like I enjoyed the fact that she was just everything and nothing at once. It was very much like it was giving Seinfeld to me, which I love. Okay. What were you like in high school? Okay, so how'd you overcome bullying? Obviously, for those who don't know, I was tremendously bullied in high school and middle school. I had 0 friends growing up. I was fat, ugly, and was dressing poorly. My parents did the best that they could, but they were food, clothing, and shelter parents. Don't ask, don't tell. Old school Italians. They worked all day. My dad worked all day. My mom worked 2 jobs. It was just me and my brother. My brother's 6 years older than I am, so there's a bit of an age discrepancy there where we're kind of at different points in our lives. We're not super close. And so I kind of raised myself, very latchkey kid, and, no one really taught me how to do anything in life. So obviously I was ugly and weird because, kids having to teach themselves how to do things in life. It's not going to go well. But yeah, and I was also very fat and very ugly. And I look back, I'm like, I probably would have bullied me too, right? Like, I was a bit of a loser because, I didn't know any better and no one was really helping me. But yeah, people knew I was gay before I knew I was gay, before I knew what that meant. I found out everything on the bus. The school bus is where I learned everything. We didn't really have the internet back then, or cell phones and stuff like that. So it wasn't like I could figure shit out. But yeah, they used to steal my shoelaces. They would steal my clothes in the gym locker room. They would grab me and touch me inappropriately in the gym locker room and make fun of me, which, I would stop going to gym, almost failed gym because of that. I would show up very late just so I could avoid the locker rooms, and I almost failed. And then I was also just fat and slow. I'm always slow. I'm the slowest runner ever. So I was such a slow runner that like my gym teacher would run with me as everyone finished last. I was just so bullied, dude. Like I couldn't use my locker ever, at all, ever. My locker was in one of the newer wings, and there was 2 boys almost every day that would wait outside to jump me. I mean, I learned how to fight, right? Definitely was fist fighting every day, almost every day. Constantly suspended and in trouble, but what was I gonna do? I had to learn how to fight. It's made me a very defensive person sometimes, which I'm sure you'll see. I do have a lot of PTSD from it. I have PTSD when I go into schools. I mean, they would throw rappers at me, food. They would pretend to be my friend and they make fun of me. I mean, it was girls, boys, everyone. Like, I would run. I couldn't go into the lunchroom because it would just be chaos, and gum was thrown at me and food. And so I would just like hide in like a classroom. I mean, there's so much shit, dude. Like, I have had knives pulled out on me. I had boys pull their whats out at me to make fun of me and like inappropriately touch themselves. Like, I had so much traumatic experiences growing up, but it made me a very strong person. But it was very hard and very difficult. And yeah, I had to fight a lot. I mean, I had teachers join in. I had teachers watch me get beat up and not do anything. I had a teacher join in once to kind of like bully me. I had a tech class and I failed that because they stole all my wood and the teacher let it happen. There's just so many things that happen, and so many teachers failed me. And no one defended me but myself. And so it is what it is. It's hard. Some of the other PTSD that I have is that when I go out, I was just talking to my friend about this the other day. When I go out in public or I meet someone new, I'm constantly sizing you up just in case you fight me. I'm trying to figure out where your weak spot is, like on your body, so that I know that if I have to defend myself, I know exactly where to hit you so I can get away. It's just something I always do. I'm always constantly thinking about like if something happens, if what's around me, so I can grab a weapon and hit you. It's just a part of the PTSD that I have. Sometimes I bite first when I feel cornered because of my experiences. So yeah, it's a little difficult. Actually, I watched Trisha Paytas' podcast with Leo Skeppy, and it's like watching a younger version of me, even though he's like way bigger. He's very hot too, by the way. But it's like he's like a younger version of me, because I'm like, I understand your PTSD. I have the same one. Okay. Biggest misconception about you: that I'm a bitch. I think it's just I've had okay. Therapy helped. I have unhealthy levels of self-reliance that manifested from an abandonment wound as a child. So sometimes I just do isolate myself as a means of protection and just do better on my own. And I have a hard shell, but I have a very soft inside. I think I'm a very loving, caring person. I just don't give that to everyone. Like, I'm a bitch on the outside, but I have a heart of gold on the inside. And I think a lot of times people misconstrue that and just don't want to see that. I think it's easy to paint me out to be the villain because I'm very straightforward and blunt. I'm not super articulate, so it's very easy for someone to manipulate that. Narcissists love to manipulate my little empath self and be like, oh, he's so mean. And I'm like, no, I didn't mean it like that, but it's already too late. They're too likable, and I'm not a very likable person. Unfortunately, truth tellers are never likable. So it is what it is. What's your type? Oh, shit. Oh, God. Dating is very difficult for me. I just don't really center men in my life. I feel like men are kind of just frustrating for me my entire life. I don't really understand them. I feel like I never really connect with a man. I've never loved a man. Sorry. I just feel like an alien, dude. I don't know how to connect to them. Like, I don't understand the way they think. I feel like sometimes they have the brain of a woman. I don't get it. But yeah, my type. So when it comes to their personality, I like someone who's very calm, but still has a big personality, has a great smile, great laugh, and someone that is very patient, I think is important, respectful and respectable. Like, I love a man with a little bit of class, because I don't have that. And I don't know, I like someone who's very, he has restraint. I always manifest in the word restraint, because it's very sexy to have someone who could like beat the shit out of you but doesn't. Like, I just like the restraint. It's very sexy. It's like a power play. In terms of physical, I mean, I like taller than me. I'm 5'9", just under 5'9". And so I like taller than me. The taller the better, to be honest. We love a giant. I really don't have a type in terms of everything else. I mean, everyone makes fun of me and they think I like ugly guys, but whatever. I right now have a penchant. Is that the word? I have a preference for blondes, but it doesn't have to be. I like blockheaded motherfuckers. What's your celebrity crush? Okay, so who's your celebrity crush? You guys know this already if you've been watching me. I'll put pictures here if I remember. Number one is Logan Paul. He's actually a ginger who dyes his hair, so found that out recently. He's physically, not his personality. His personality, but his body, his face, so hot. He can do the splits. He's super athletic. He's tall. He's hot. Anyways, second is Tfue. They look alike. They look alike. I don't know what else to say. And then third is Calvin Harris, because he's super talented. He has a great accent. He's 6'6". The fuck. Okay. Also, he's so cute. He has the best personality. He's a Capricorn. I love Capricorns. He has the best personality. This dude literally goes, dude is literally like the biggest DJ in the world. And he just has a garden where he makes like watermelons. And he's like, look at my watermelon. Isn't it cute? Adorable. So endearing. What's your ideal relationship? I don't fucking know, dude. Like I said, I don't know, dude. I can't seem to get in one because there's clearly something wrong with me. I don't know. I want someone that fucks off for a week, to be honest. Travels a lot and fucks off for a week and then comes back and we hang out and then fucks off for a week. I like my space. I need monogamy. If you're going to be into other guys, I'm going to literally ruin your life. I don't care. I need someone who is not a pussy and a pushover, because then I'll dominate you and eat you up and spit you out, because I have a very dominant personality. And I need someone who's not intimidated by me. I find that men are very scared and pussy when it comes to me, and I step all over them, and it's not good. Worst date you've ever been on? Holy shit, I have 20 million. There's the date I went on with the guy who had a PhD in psychology and pulled up the sports game and put it next to us when we were on dinner date. There's the guy who told me I dressed like a YouTuber, who pissed me off. I don't know what the hell that means. I have so many, dude. Like, oh my God, if you've ever watched my lives, you would see, like, I always have bad dates. I feel like all my dates are bad. I had a date one time. The first thing the guy told me is that he tried to, end his life right on the first date. Like, dude, I don't know what it is. I think people just feel comfortable around me and just start trauma dumping, and then I get really weirded out. But I would say probably if I had to think of the number one worst date of my life, there's a lot of competing ones, but the first one that comes to mind is the guy that told me that I'm every guy's fantasy because I look barely legal. I think about him every night before I go to bed and get scared. Because what the fuck does that mean? And then he told me he wanted me to move into his 5-bedroom house on the first date and said that we're going to have kids together. So he also told me that he bangs people without protection because he's on PrEP, so he can't get HIV, and everything else can be, quote unquote, solved with a pill, which is not true. So yeah, I don't know. That guy scared the crap out of me. Who's Aquarius? What holds you back in relationships? Dude, I think I'm just a bitch. I don't know. And I think men are just pussy, because this other question here is something you wish you knew in your 20s. I wish I knew how pussy men were. I literally thought that no man would want to be with me because I wasn't like super successful yet and I would be dead weight. But it's the opposite. Men like someone who's less than them so that they can control them and they can feel better about themselves. I see all these older men with these young little 20-year-olds who have no job. And I've had to tell a couple of men who try to tell me what to do. You need to find a 20-year-old twink with no job who you can take care of and boss around, because I'm not that girl. Like, I just don't get it. Where are the men that are super independent, that love their job, that are also looking for someone who's super independent and loves his job? Who wants to be the Jay-Z to my Beyonce? Like, where are they? Because they always want someone less than that they can control. I guess I'm just not cute enough. That's the other thing. I think I'm cute, and I think my personality raises it a couple of numbers. But I think, like, physically, I'm not, like, super hot. And every guy seems to think that they can get that super hot guy. And they don't stop until they get it. So I'm just not hot enough, I guess. And I can't change that. Okay, this is what I'll end this on. What is one thing you learned from your dad's passing? So for those of you that don't know, my dad passed away like about 10 years ago. I was helping take care of him. We did not have a great relationship. When he died, I felt like I had a lot of anger and it went away. But I feel like the biggest thing that I took away from him dying was that I felt like his life was not fulfilled. Like, it's almost like you have this, I don't know if anybody was a caretaker, you probably understand like the anger that you deal with and the frustration. No one really talks about the anger, but if you've been through it, you understand. You know, my dad, he would beg to die every night, scream and yell every night to die. He was just tired of it. He had pancreatic cancer, we think. We never really got full confirmation what it was. But so he was just had a death sentence and he just wanted to go. And his mind was deteriorating from chemo and all this. It was really sad to watch him deteriorate. I'm not going to go super in depth with it, but just know that like for me, I kind of saw his death as like, it was hard to watch because it's almost like so pathetic. My dad was very sharp. Like I'm very much like my dad. I'm not like my mom at all. I have my dad's sense of humor, my dad's wit, my dad's charm. My dad was very quick and very funny. And he was an entertainer without realizing it. And I just feel like seeing him go that way was very pathetic. It was like he looked pathetic to me. And it was hard to see my dad, who I felt was such this like big energy, be so sad and frail and pathetic. Like it was really hard for me. And I think something that I learned when my dad died, I mean, there was hundreds of people at this funeral telling me how much they loved him and how he touched so many lives. Like my dad was popular as fuck. So was my mom. Both Leos, super popular. But when he died, I kind of just was like, I don't want my life to be that pathetic. Like, I don't want to go out that way. Like, I need to achieve my goals. Like, I felt like my dad didn't do everything he wanted to do. I felt like my dad missed a lot of opportunities, got complacent, and went out pathetic. And I didn't want to do that. And it was very hard for me to admit that and to see that because I felt like my dad had wasted potential. And so for me, I was like, I'm never, ever, ever going to allow myself to miss opportunities and to go out the way my dad went out. And so it really lit a fire under my ass. And now look at me, I'm successful. And hopefully he's looking up at me from down below and he's proud of me. But if he's not, I don't really care, but I think he is. But also I have a bone to pick with him. How come you ain't sent me no man yet? I know you didn't really like gay people, but it's too late now, okay? You could at least throw a brick up from under there, okay, bitch? You could hit a man with that brick. And then you can help me get him. Hit him in the head so he falls down and falls into my lap. Thank you. All right, guys, I'm going to probably film some really cool videos for you guys on this channel, so I hope you enjoy.